In World War II, the weapon disparity between the Central Army and local forces. How big was it? Let's take a look at the equipment of China's elite units. In the KMT's millions of soldiers, the German-trained divisions had the best weapons. First, they equipped themselves with imported Mauser 98K rifles. The rifles' precision and performance were superior to Japanese Arisakas. Even in the later war stages with resource shortages, elite units still got better rifles, standard-issue rifles, which means in small arms, we were ahead of the Japanese invaders. Next, there was the bolt-action rifle, the Speedy Enfield rifle. It fired rare 7.7mm bullets, also called Eagle 77. The biggest difference is that it used a 10-round magazine. In the hands of a veteran, it could fire 30 rounds per minute. It was the backbone of firepower for the Expeditionary Force. For elite units, the submachine gun was also essential. Soldiers at the time loved the Thompson submachine gun because of its high fire rate, large magazines, and stable shooting. At medium and close range, it had excellent firepower. If you had to pick a flaw, the gun was just too expensive. It is said that in the 1920s, just 2 Thompson submachine guns could be traded for a new Ford car. But the local unit's equipment was very simple. Most weapons and equipment were self-supplied, like in Brightsword. The best equipment went to elite units. The leftovers were for the rest. So, local units mainly used World War I antiques and captured Japanese weapons, such as the French Lebel 1886. It was the world's first successful smokeless powder firearm. While this gun was revolutionary in its time for the World War II Chinese battlefields, it was relatively outdated. The second was China's locally produced Hanyang 88 rifle. The Qing government modified the German 1888 to address the threat of foreign invasion. Although its range and muzzle velocity couldn't match the Type Zhongjing, it was still the weapon that killed most Japanese soldiers. Even with such old weapons, many units wore them down smooth and still didn't have enough to go around. It shows how backward Chinese industry was then. In addition, there were captured weapons, such as the Arisaka Type 38. It proved we had no guns, no cannons. The enemy made our resistance possible. For expensive weapons like submachine guns, most units barely had any. Those with better conditions sometimes used Sten submachine guns. Although this gun could fire unintentionally, its very cheap price covered up all its flaws.